Long Beach, California is the home of the 4th round of this championship. Revo on pole from Akari and Daniel Baltasarov. Then it's Leo, Daf Sanchez, and Yuki Suo. And it's Marcus Nelson, Lawless Chaklerk, and his team, and no, not his teammate, Arnett Badness. And it's Mielrez, T. Gabo, David Camino, and his teammate, U-Cable. Sebastian Ocampo starts 14th with an RQE, and the championship leader, Santino Milan, 16th. His teammate, Sierra, is 17th. Then it's Michael Novikov, iWorld, Rush Chan-Tan, August Vegazoni, and Tommy. Well, last time out in Buenos Aires was an amazing race. This time out, we're in Long Beach, California. All 5 lights go on. And the Long Beach Prix is green. And Revo starting on the hards, not off to a great start. Akari already up into the lead. His teammate alongside him, almost grazing the barriers, is a pinnacle 1-2 out there. But who's going to come out on top? They are side by side, the two pinnacles, the 10 and the 30. Almost cutting across the track was Leo, tipping a wheel across the curb. But it is Akari from Leo, from Revo, from Suo, from Baltasar, from Chaklerk, and Sanchez, the top 7. Marcus Nelson has dropped to 8th position there. Chaklerk up to 6th. As here comes Leo. The two are really new pinnacle cars, side by side. There goes Leo into the lead. And a good time to remind all of you that Leo, in fact, was the first man to win a race for Aurelio Pinnacle. Tommy, 5 seconds for causing a collision. As here comes still the top 2, both Pinnacle cars. And still machined in where they are. And Mielrez out of the Prix virtual safety car. And that's Santino Milan giving the Swede a little bit of a bump. Oh, spin! Oh, what was that? From an RQE, he turned into a Beyblade there. What on earth? I don't think that was on earth. What on earth? iWorld also facing problems. They faced this right direction now. Virtual safety car was called. P. Sierra also out of the Prix at the same place of the track. So, an RQE losing his front wing. I think that fidget spinner action probably took out Sierra. I can't put a finger onto why he's out. But it's a Pinnacle 1-2. It's Suo's 3rd and Revo 4th. Chaklerk currently following the toe of these two. And we're just waiting for Milan currently. He's the championship leader. He's currently 12th, but his fellow championship fighter are out of the Prix and currently 14th, so he's still looking to hold on to that championship lead. That is Chaklerk going down the inside on Revo, the most experienced driver to race for Mercedes versus the second least experienced driver to race for Mercedes, and he's hit the wall! You can see how inexperienced he is. He took a year out to drive in rally, and he's lost his front wing. I think that just made him more apt to having to control a spin. I don't know, I don't drive rally cars. Sebastian Chan-Tan coming through the chicane. And this is the thing, that final chicane is so hectic, and almost as much as this straight. Santino Milan has got a 5-second time penalty for causing a collision. You cannot blame anyone who gets a collision penalty for something around this part of the track. Into the pits has come Lawless Chaklerk, and that's because he's lost his front wing. Unfortunate for him, but it's racing. These things happen. Regazzoni fastest lap of the Prix, and he's still following the toe of the cars ahead of him. That is U-Cable and Marcus Nelson, the 9 and 10 champions, fighting over 11th. Side by side they go. 2 of the oldest drivers in the championship. We wouldn't know that in the way that they drive, but Sebastian Ocampo, he drives like he's younger. Just finding wherever they can to make an overtake. That's the beauty of this championship. As there goes Santino Milan up into 6th. He's side by side with Daniel Baltasarov, however. No, that's Babness they're fighting with. As out goes the championship leader. Santino Milan is out here in Long Beach. And from the pure mania of last time out at his home race, he has to once again face reality that he is not driving with the best car. Both Nissans out of the Prix. Into the pits comes Leo for his first stop. Marcus Nelson, another 5-second time penalty for causing a collision. That's 10 seconds. The record for most time penalties in a single race is 30. If someone gets 35 seconds worth of time penalties, that is literally a record in both this championship and in real life. If you know, Esteban Ocon got 30 seconds of time penalties in Bahrain 2023. As, yeah, Yuki Tsuo currently running second. It's Akari who's leading the way. And he has to do one more lap with his tires compared to his teammate. Because of how Pinnacle have decided to pit their drivers. It's not fair, but if they were to double stack, it'd be infinitely worse. So you just have to make it work. That's how it is in motorsport. As you can see, these drivers, I don't know what it is, but they just always get so darn close to the wall. There's barely anything in it. As you can see, more drivers coming through that part of the track, but because of their newer tires, not really hitting barriers. Leo up ahead, fighting with Arna Bowness into the pits. No, they don't. This is attack mode for the two cars ahead of him. Virtual safety car as Marcus Nelson out of the race within the pits. He's out in the pit lane. Oh no, that's right by pit. Where is his car? Where is the App Sportsliner car? I don't know where that car is, but either way, both Apt cars and both Nissans are out of this race. And anyway, we get back racing, and did Akari come in? No! Akari! Race leader, second time this season that the race leader has had a puncture. Akari! He's got a puncture, and the man behind him is the man who last had a puncture while leading. It's Revo, and he almost slid into him. He's gonna have to let him through. And I can just hear Revo's team radio right now, just pure karma for the number 10. But he probably went too long on his tires. 5 laps on those softs. I doubt those were new. But it's just truly unfortunate for the number 10 Pinnacle car. Because he's the reigning World Drivers' Champion. You have to feel somewhat bad for him. Into the pits comes Arnett Bannis. As you can see, the sheer unbelievable closeness of the grid. Getting past Akari, who does now come into the pit. And now he's just going to have to try and salvage some points. There's not much else he can do. But it's not over yet, as his teammate Leo surely knows he's going to pick up the slack for Aurelio Pinnacle. And to do that, he's got to take the lead, which he has done. Leo leads the Long Beach Prix, 1.6 seconds ahead of Revo, who in at second. But Revo still yet to make his first pit stop. So, Hyperdrive's strategy here is not paying off. They were hoping to try and skip a pit stop and retain track position. But that's not worked. So they're currently looking at a second place finish, which is better than what the guy next to him is, as Staff Sanchez out of the Prix! Oh, straddled by David Camo. T-Gabo, 5 seconds time penalty. The 5 seconds is a joke, considering, well, Sanchez facing the wrong direction. You know, I would argue that Sanchez left the track and gained an advantage by hopping onto Camino's car. So, where is his time? Where's his track limits penalty? Obviously off the track. The top 3 No, not the top 3. All the hard tire runners coming into the pits on this lap. And yeah, I think Akari can only really fight the 16th right now. Because even Wallace Leclerc is way too far away from these guys. It's just not his day. Leo, on the other hand, this is his day. He's looking to try and take his 2nd career victory. As here comes Revo up into 3rd position. If he can just stay ahead of Yuki Suo, he's going to have to try and make the switchback work. Can the Italian most experienced driver make it work? You bet your ass he can. He's up into 3rd, and all he has to do now is stay in the slipstream of Camino to hold on to that 3rd position. If he can pull out to the inside, even better. Suo slips into that slipstream, and he dives down the inside. Revo to 2nd position, and I believe other drivers absolutely taking a chance and making their voices known. And oh, that's the wall for Tommy. You don't want to see that. Wall rider. That's T Gabbo out of the E-Prix. Gabbo out. I world 5 seconds. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. This happens every time. Lap 8 of 14. Leo coming into the pits, running effectively half off pit stop. VSC is ending as Revo now coming through the final turn as Leo enters the first. Leo is going to lead this E-Prix, and he is 4.9 seconds ahead of Revo. Tommy into pit lane. Lose his front wing. U-Cable also in. Rigozzoni also in, and there is a common thread with a lot of these drivers, either not enough tire wear or, you know, the loss of the front wing. 6 to go then. Revo currently in P2, and there's not so much more he can do. I guess he can hope on Leo's downfall, but you know, I don't think that's really going to happen. Suo trying to send it on Camino. It's going to come down to braking. We're on board with Bogdasarov to watch this happen. Oh, by sending the back of David, the 88 Romanian. But Suo into 3rd. Bogdasarov trying to get around by the outside. And that's going to work for him. Ocampo on the back of Ryan Babinis. Many more drivers coming through that 3rd sector. Not too many more alongside each other. Bogdasarov up into P3 himself then. 3rd, the Daniel Bogdasarov. Tommy fastest 2nd sector of anyone. Leo starting the 5th to last lap. And Revo taking the fastest lap off the E3. When it comes to drivers who are currently contending for the championship, out, and 7th. Meteorite out, Milan out, Vachichan 10th, being the fastest lap, pretty cool. But Ocampo is currently 7th. Tommy, fastest 3rd sector of anyone, 26.666. Not a good number, if you ask me. But it's still pretty calm when it comes to a fight for a high position. Closest you get is a fight for 4th, but that's only if the driver's got attack mode and a slipstream bonus. But you don't really have that, do you? So you are really just driving at this point. You are just waiting for the end parts of the race to come. As here comes Vachichan to make the race even a little more interesting. Up into 10th he goes, following now iWorld coming through this squiggly part of the track. And he's he sent it! Oh my goodness, he went for the gap. If you no longer go for a gap, you are no longer a racing driver. And Vachichan has taken that meaning and ran with it. He's up into 9th. Lawless Leclerc, iWorld's teammate, trying to get himself up into 9th, and he's hit him! He's hit the back of Vachichan. 5 seconds for Lawless Leclerc. Into the pits comes Revo and Yuki Suo. And I can only think that Revo's got a little bit of damage to that tyre that he was on, which is why he's had to come in. Tommy, fastest lap. He's currently 7th, but with a time penalty. And he's been pumping in fastest sectors. The clouds do look a little bit overcast here in Long Beach. And it is still Leo leading from Bogdasarov, Camino, Babinis, Leclerc, Vasichan, and Tommy. Vasichan on the back. And I do think it might rain. Here comes Vasichan, and he has finally cleared that Mercedes Formula E team. Number 16 of Lawless Leclerc up into 5th. As into the wall has gone David Camino. He's lost his front wing. Inet Babinus also in the wall. Vasichan upside down there. Out of the race goes Inet Babinus. It's Vasichan causing that part of the collision. Revo 5 seconds. Almost sitting in the back there is Yuki Suo. Cable facing a little bit of controversy, I guess, there. Almost in the back. That's not what controversy means, you idiot. Bogdasarov coming into the pits on this lap. David Camino, he's got to come in. Leclerc obviously has to come in. Revo doesn't have to. Akari 5 seconds for causing a collision with an Arcuri. And that's Yui also missing his front wing. Akari's day has gone from good to alright to bad to absolutely horrible. Meanwhile, his teammate is in prime position to try and win this race. But all he has to do is keep that car facing in a straight line. And when most of this field has either seen or been involved with an incident, well, that's not very easy. But he's making it look simple. And for Leo, I think his main objective right now is to keep that gap to Bogdasarov as high as possible. Because he's got to pit. And Arcuri coming out of pit lane now, he's 1 minute off the back of the pack. Holy shit, he's 1 minute off the race leader, rather. Leo coming through this final sector. Does he decide to pit? Yes, he does. Takes the pit line into the pits. Comes the race leader, Bogdasarov, coming down the main straight. He's not going to get past. Leo is currently on course to win this race with a resounding victory for a pinnacle Formula E team driver. But you just can't help but think that this man, Akari, should have been the man to take it. I don't know. 5 seconds, that's the gap between Leo and Bogdasarov. Bogdasarov, the more worn and slower medium tyres compared to Leo's fresher red-walled softs. Regazzoni and U-Cable peeling into pit lane. That nose thing is back. I'm gonna make myself some herbal soup. Akari, he's gonna get him into 11th. Points, unlikely. 6 seconds away from iWorld, which is that little gaggle. The points, you don't really actually see too many opportunities for fights anymore around this track. I think the driver's just getting a little more comfortable with racing here in Long Beach. On board with Yuki Suo. Currently 4th. And yeah, there's not really too much to say. You got Tommy fighting now with iWorld over 8th position. Pretty neat for him to do. I'll run to the penultimate lap of this E3. As there goes Tommy up into 8th. Didn't seem too hard of an overtake because he was using attack mode. And I really have to say, there's not a fight for the lead. The top 4 are separated by at least 5 seconds either side of them. Tommy up into 8th, fastest lap, and he's providing most of the action here. Sebastian Ocampo currently 5th, and he's primed to take the championship lead away from Debuton, Santino Milano. I keep forgetting drivers' names, and that's not good if you want to be a commentator. Looking at Ravo now. 3rd, 5-second time penalty that I wouldn't say is his fault. And yeah, there's not too much else to say about this race. We are watching Leo romp away to what seems to be his easiest win yet. Leo's race wins haven't really been remembered too well. More for his teammate having a massive issue, which has meant that he's been able to step into the hot seat. We're on to the final lap in this Prix. Leo leads, Bogdasarov second, Revo third, Suo fourth, Ocampo fifth, with Camino following very closely behind. Thomas up to seventh, Novikov has dropped to ninth, so Leclerc has basically been able to stay in eighth. And still, David Camino, this is the major fight for a position that we're watching. This is over fifth position. Can Camino close in enough to get past? I'm not too sure, but Leo is really romping away with that race lead. Coming through the fourth to last turn as he now drives down the main straight. We're looking at the man who thought he could challenge, but is currently just holding on to second. The man who was on pole, but is going to have to settle for third, is Revo. And he might even have to settle for fourth if Suo can get into that 5-second gap. But Aurelio Pinnacle, they started on the front row. Someone's off in the third sector. That is Sebastian Ocampo. But Leo will win the Long Beach Prix. Bogdasarov is second. We watch now. Oh, that was Ocampo with a problem. Akari out of the Prix. Oh, man. iWorld looks to have caused that problem. Revo is going to come home with a P3 finish, and it will be P3. Suo is not close enough to make that anything worse. Let's take a look. 21 seconds, so it'd have to be under 26. And yeah, Revo is P3, and rain is falling. Rain is falling? What? Oh my goodness, why did this happen 2 laps ago? We could have had a great race to the finish if rain fell earlier. And we now see August Regazzoni try and close in on Vasichantan, but yes, you can see rain falling. This is the podium then. Leo wins from Daniel Bogdasarov and Revo. That's your top 3 here in Long Beach, California. Then it's Yuki Suo, David Camino, Sebastian Ocampo, Michael Novikov, Tully, the top 8. Then it's Lawrence Leclerc, U-Cable, the top 10. Then it's Vasichantan, August Regazzoni, and Okyui, and iWorld the finishes. The non-finishes were Akari, Arnett Babinus, T. Gabo, Dav Sanchez, Fox Nelson, Santino Milan, Viciera, and Vilres. In the driver's standings, Sebastian Ocampo leads the way 1 point ahead of Santino Milan. Then it's Yuki Suo, 1 point ahead of Milres, August Regazzoni, Daniel Bogdasarov, tied with Leo. Then it's David Camino, Marcus Nelson. Then it's a tie for 10th between U-Cable and Lawrence Leclerc. Tie for 12th for Revo and Tommy. Marco Novikov is 14th. Then it's Piciera, Akari, and Arnett Babinus, your point scorers. Your non-scorers still are T. Gabo, Vasichantan, and Okyui, and iWorld. In the constructors' standings, heading into the next round of the championship, Toyota Gazoo Racing lead the way from Nissan Nismo and App Sportsmania. Then it's MF Amlin Andretti, Ford Honda Grand Prix, Aurelio Pinnacle, Virgin Renault, Next EV, Hyperdrive, Mercedes Formula E Team, and Mahindra, who's still yet to score. We'll see you guys next time then when the FEMC returns.